Women of Reddit. What common insecurities do men have about their bodies that women don't actually care about? No one wants to peep for 8 hours. It's fine. I've had women complain that sex was going on too long if it was more than 20 minutes. It can get dry very quickly, even if it was super wet and lubed prior. Lube wears off a lot quicker than you think. Even natural lubrication. Getting sweaty during sex. I had a BF that always felt so bad if any sweat dripped onto me, and I was always like, I literally don't care, keep going. Similar argument which works on women too. When my ex-GF got sweaty during sex, it only turned me on more. It's something about the smell of a woman that gets me going. Those perfect pheromones. If we are at the point of being naked, I like the person. I like that person enough to take the gamble that their body looks like a normal body, and there's plenty of sexy/adorable parts of it. There's definitely also going to be neutral and unattractive parts of any body, because it's a body. I honestly have no idea what would cause me to change my mind of not liking a person based on the way they look, short of some hygiene issue. My limited experience has included a variety of body shapes, heights, etc. And it's all been super fun. Because sex is fun. The best, sexiest thing is to be with someone who is having fun. If I can be with someone who is smiling and laughing and having fun during sex, the sex will be awesome. Please stop worrying about your dick, or your hair, or your weight, or your muscle definition, or your whatever else, and know that for most people, we are just happy to be there. I wish people would realize everyone looks weird when they're naked. No one is expecting you to look like a Greek god. And when I get to that point, all I care about being so close that I can't even see most of your body anyway. What am I don't look like a Greek god? Men always apologize if they come early on while having sex, but it's really not a problem so long as they bring the woman to completion in some way afterwards. Ain't nothing wrong with a second round or some selfless hard work. I'll be honest, I kind of love when a partner comes early sometimes. It feels flattering in a way. Like whatever I did was so outstanding they couldn't help themselves. That said, I do like my partner to get me there too, one way or another. Thank you. You just made every insecure guy feel awesome. Being the best, smartest, toughest, funniest. It's better to be individual with your niche interests, looks, sense of humor, rather than try to be the brightest. Also, it's more attractive to acknowledge the success of your friends than to talk about their shortcomings. I just want to be the best at something. I don't even feel like I'm the best at being me, and it's frustrating. Anxiety isn't attractive either. At least I'm good at the last thing you said. I always want my friends to succeed. I can pretty much guarantee you're the best at being 5 for sure. Don't worry about coming off as nerdy or brainy FFSPLZ. Think for yourself and enjoy your hobbies. We actually dig someone with passion, and honestly being able to hold conversation with depth is delicious. Extra points on sarcasm, wit and humor. Can attest to this. As a nerd myself, it's actually really fun for me to listen to guys talk about their nerdy interests. To the guys worried about this, please tell me about your programming, your homebrew D&D world, your research project, your video game characters. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to dig it and want to know more. Plus, you look adorable when you're talking about something you're so passionate about. You know, a lot of us hear this and then actually start talking about it, and then we watch their eyes glaze over. Graying hair. My 32-year-old husband is currently freaking out because he has so many, it's not that many, gray hairs. I couldn't give two speeps lol. I think he's still just as handsome, and I really don't see what the big deal is. Salt and pepper hair is hot. Yes. My short ass looking to find height. As a tall girl, I can say that sometimes shorter guys are precisely the right height for certain activities, and that can be a big plus. Advantage goes to short dudes on that one. Height doesn't make the man. If you're cool with it, then a lot of women will be too. Confidence/self-assurance play a huge role. Cuddling with a taller girl is nice as it's easy to lay your head on their chest, and being hugged like that is the best. So hot and soothing at the same time. I like healthy teeth. But years ago I long-term dated a guy with crooked front teeth. That to me made him cuter really, especially when he laughed. I ended up marrying a guy with a gap in his front teeth. Again, great with a good laugh. There's a big difference between healthy teeth and straight teeth, the latter being purely cosmetic. I'm fond of a little gap or buck, myself. Don't mind the gap. Money. I've seen a few guys try to act like they have money to burn in order to impress their dates, me included, but then not be able to pay the bills at the end of the month. Honestly, I'll take stability and honesty over a fancy dinner any day. Eater. Yeah, I miss bodies, but honestly I love all bodies, and money has been one of the biggest insecurity and relationship killer I've ever dealt with. Whoops. Bleary-eyed at work again I guess. The memory that came up was one of my first serious boyfriends who was on the bigger side with a receding hairline in his 20s, ran in the family, but he was a great guy, and we had a ton in common. Great chemistry. I was completely hooked, and thinking he was the one. Unfortunately he always seemed to need to overcompensate for not being as conventionally hot as the other guys by constantly spending money and bragging about how much he made. It got to the point where he was even lying to my family about getting them expensive trips to a winter resort for Christmas, which never materialized because he couldn't actually afford it. I didn't care about the resort or the toys or the meals out or showing up the other people in our circle. I was just constantly embarrassed that he felt he needed to lie about being flush with cash when in reality we were rolling quarters at the end of the month to afford groceries. In the end that's what did us in. The women who are impressed by overspending aren't worth dating anyway. Edit. To clarify, the problem isn't how much you actually have, but trying to pretend it's more. Spending beyond one's means is as attractive as a comb over. It's the toupee of financial management. When you bait your hook with a worm, don't be surprised when you catch fish that like worms. Baldness. There are plenty of hot men that are bald. Patrick Stewart. Whatever floats your boat. I like Dwayne Johnson. Honestly the same ones as women most of the times. Such as stretch marks and scars. I couldn't care less. I have them also. Oatmeal cream pies have stretch marks and no one turns them down. Scars are awesome. Most of them have some sort of a cool story to tell. My acne scars have a lame backstory. Don't mind me, I'm just here to read the answers and be a little happy. Same man. Same. Hair on their chest or arms. It's their year and no one cares. Yeah. But man, it's on my belly, chest, back, neck, arms. What pisses me off is hair has started to grow on my penis. Who the hell starts growing hair on the shaft of their penis? What am I, a peeping were dick? I also have a hairy shaft and thought I was the only weird one. Being awkward sometimes, or doing something embarrassing. I somehow find this more appealing than guys who never seem embarrassed or are extremely confident. Honestly I like guys who are at least a bit awkward, cause at least you know it's real and not them being too overly confident just to impress you. This is my favorite post ever. I'm sitting here puffing my chest out thinking I'm the absolute living speep with all my flaws. Thank you ladies, you made me and probably a few hundred other guys feel a lot better tonight. This may be the best post that I've ever read before going to bed. My husband is way too worried about how big his biceps are. He was a really skinny kid, our son is the same way, so I think he always just wanted to be the big tough guy. Well now he's got muscles and he's constantly asking me what I think of them. I mean dude, I'm into you, no matter what size your biceps. Like contractual obligated for the past 15 years I'm not going anywhere, even if you can't lift heavy things. You know how women still like to be told they're pretty by their so though. This is the same thing. Maybe you don't care about his biceps, but all he wants is to impress you. and to feel admired. Trying telling him out of the blue one day that he's looking jacked. Source: a guy that gets compliments on his muscular physique from everybody except his wife. Looking real jacked. Baby,